In 2006, a Muslim woman in South London was strangled to death by her cousins on orders from her father and her uncle because they found her boyfriend to be unsuitable. Freak occurrence? No. This week, a Muslim women's rights group, now there's an oxymoron, released a report claiming a spike in so-called honor attacks that have inflicted bruises, mutilated genitals, and death upon women accused of everything from bad boyfriends to too much makeup to refusing to submit to an arranged marriage. I'm PJTV's Scott Ott, and with me to gaze into our potential future, from Monument, Colorado, Stephen Green, and from Los Angeles, Bill Whittle. Men, these attacks in some areas are up 300% year to year, 2009 to 2010, with more than 2,800 reported last year across England. Now, Bill, lest you leap to conclusions, the UK Daily Mail reports that a Metropolitan Police Service spokesman said, and this is a quote, "Honor-based violence cuts across all cultures, nationalities, and faith groups. It is a worldwide problem." Now, Bill, does that have the ring of truth to it?
Well, of course. God knows how many cases there are of Lutherans throwing acid in the face of people up in Minnesota. Happens every day. You can't drive down the street without seeing somebody maimed by a Presbyterian here in this country. I'm just going to put that entire thing aside, because if I start to think about what that guy said too much, I'm going to lose my mind. But I'll tell you this. Let's go back to, let me just recall those thrilling days of yesteryear when people had some sense about what they were as a culture and a civilization. I'm just going to tell you the truth. These people that commit these crimes are animals. The word that they used to use was savages. That's what they are. They are savage people living in a civilized society. And that poor woman who was strangled, like all the rest of them, was laboring under the mistaken assumption that she lived in a land of law, that Great Britain was the source of law. Well, she was mistaken about that, and I'll just close by saying this. Those people need to be absolutely either executed or extradited immediately. And the British used to say in India, this is a classic case, where in India they were explaining to a British colonel the practice of sati, where the Indian woman would be burned. When the husband died, the Indian woman would be thrown on the funeral pyre. And they said, "Well, you can't stop us from doing this. This is our custom." And the British general said, "Well, okay, that's your custom. Our custom is to hang people by the neck, anyone who throws a woman into a fire. So you go ahead and have your customs, and then we'll have ours." Right? That's a sound of civilization. And Britain used to be the home of it.
Well, Stephen Green, I'm pretty sure that something like this could never happen here in the United States. Am I right?
I wish.
It's starting. No, nothing like this could happen here in the U.S. Just because they accept some Sharia in the United Kingdom, which just happens to be, another English-speaking democracy. It's no reason it can happen here. They're starting to accept it in Canada, another mostly English-speaking democracy. So, no reason it will happen here. You know what? Because when people come to our shores, they become Americanized automatically with no effort on their part and no effort on our part. They will just change their ways, add to the melting pot, even if we never once insist they learn English and stop mutilating little girls.
Our friend Pamela Geller, by the way, is having a conference in Dearborn, Michigan next year for women who are victims of this kind of stuff. Bill, you mentioned this earlier, but who are we to judge someone else's cultural practices or religion? Judge not, lest you be judged.
I'm happy you asked me that question. I'll answer it for you very clearly. We are civilized human beings with a moral code. We understand that there are certain inalienable rights given to everybody all across the world. We understand these things, and we used to believe these things. Many of us still do believe these things. And those of us who still do believe these things have no problem calling it what it is. It's barbarism. It's animalism. It's savage. It's not fair to animals, actually. Animals don't do these kind of things. No. Anybody with any sense of moral code knows immediately that this is wrong. Those people need to be shipped back to the savage, barbarous lands that they came from. Anybody who sympathizes with them needs to be shipped back to the barbarism that they came from, where they belong. And anybody with a moral code can see this. And for people who want to take this advanced moral tone, like they're somehow superior because they tolerate this, that is not a feature. That is a critical defect. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. You're broken if this doesn't make you furious. And I've had enough of it, Scotty, and I know most people in this country haven't had enough of it, and most people in England have had enough of it. So why do we tolerate it? It's time to stop tolerating evil in the world.
Bill Whittle generates power, light, and heat with his Afterburner show here on PJTV.com. Don't miss his latest on character. Go watch it right now after this trifecta. Steve, what's the politically correct response to this honor-killing contagion? And if you don't know that answer, what's the right thing to do to prevent its spreading here?
You know, Bill alluded to this, but I want to get really explicit about it. Rome didn't fall because it let the barbarians in. Rome fell because it stopped insisting that the barbarians become Romans. And this is what we're doing. Our military can protect our shores, but a nation has another weak point, another gate that needs defending, and that's its intellectual spirit, its founding principles, its ideals, and its ideas. And the role of defending those things, it falls to our academia. It falls to our media. It falls to our political institutions. And they have all failed us. They have opened up the gates, let in the barbarians, and let them run wild. And it is time for us to point the finger. It is time for us to blame them. And it is time for us to make it stop.
Stephen Green hosts Hair of the Dog and the Weekend blogs here on PJTV.com. Well, welcome to America, my Muslim brother. But if you're leaving a country where murdering or mutilating your daughter can be considered honorable, and you hope to establish an island of that culture here on our soil, then get back on the plane and get the hell out of here. We started this country to get away from brutal, phony religion thugs like you, and we will not submit to it again. And oh, by the way, you can leave your daughter here. It's about time someone treated her honorably. For Bill Whittle, Stephen Green, and the entire trifecta crew at PJTV.com, I'm Scott Ott.